Hello there, Chad Douglas with the Kroc Center here in Quincy, talking about another fine arts class that's coming up, and this one has to do more with academics, and not one of my favorite subjects, but it doesn't have to be a favorite in order for you to succeed. We have Sheila Eyster, who is here, a retired teacher of how many years?
29 years.
Okay, I was going to give you the option to go just several, Chad. She's coming to us.
Proud of all 29.
Yes, well, you should be. She's coming to us this spring with a class on multiplication tables. Who is this class for?
Basically any child who is struggling to learn their times tables, or for that matter, adult. I'm also a literacy tutor at John Wood, and I am working with some adults who never mastered their times tables.
And even parents, because I have young children who are in multiplication, and I look at that to help them, and sometimes I'm like, well, just do your best, and So even parents should probably come to this.
Well, yes, part of what I set up in the workshop when I volunteered to do this is just like if you go to a birthing class like Lamaze or some other class, you take a coach with you to help you through the rough points. And I have asked that each student come with a coach, whether it's a parent, a grandparent, a high school brother or sister, whatever, so that they have somebody who's learning my techniques and can follow up during the week, because we only meet one day a week for 6 weeks.
Okay. So what will you be teaching in this class?
I will start out simply, what are the multiplication tables and why do we care?
And
kids who are good at math, you tell them, memorize them, they will. They've got them in their head, like Mary Had a Little Lamb is in our heads as adults, even though we haven't sung it in years, it's just there. Kids that are really good at math, they put them in there, they learn them once, they'll stay. But for other kids, it's like, why do I care and why do I need to work so hard on these things?
Or it's hard. It just doesn't
Very
compute.
hard. Yes.
So how important are the timetables then when you get to learning other things like division and fractions?
Basically, learning the multiplication tables, if you don't master those, you can't go on to multiple digit multiplication, you can't go on to division, fractions, reducing fractions, common multiples. Basically, advanced math is going to be hard or impossible for you. This is a major hurdle that they need to overcome.
Okay, and you can teach this to a class because each individual person is going to learn a little differently.
Yes, and that's why I want a coach with each student.
Okay.
Because after I introduce the lesson, then they will have practice time in class with me. I will not lecture for an entire hour. I will introduce what we're working on, and then each coach will work with the child, and then I will move throughout the room like a facilitator and just answer questions. If you're there with your child and you raise your hand and say, okay, I forgot what you said about, then I can come and help you. So it'll be introduction of concept and then practice with each child having a coach. As a classroom teacher, of course, you've usually got from 18 to 30 kids in a room, and you never have enough hands to reach everybody. And that's why I have asked that each child have a coach come with them who is committed to sit through the workshop and then work with them for a minimum of 15 minutes, 5 days a week until they come back to class.
And at the end of the 6 weeks, those students are going to walk out of there?
My goal is that every student at the end of that 6 weeks will know all their multiplication tables and all or most of their division facts. Yes, I have done it. I have even taught a kindergartner in the summer whose mama was my neighbor, and she just said, I hear you've got a special technique for teaching this. Can you teach her? She was in kindergarten, but she loved it and learned them very quickly.
Well, Sheila, thanks so much for doing this for us here at the Kroc Center and doing what you did for 29 years of educating our youth. If you think you or your child could benefit from a class like this, it kicks off in March. You can find more information at krocquincy.org.